France might be one of the most powerful countries in Victoria 3, so today I'll try to conquer the entire world with them. This is not an easy task and it's extremely tedious, so subscribe if you like to see me suffer. First of all, let's see what we're working with. We have some pretty good laws, cultural exclusion, interventionism, but I do want a legitimate government. For research, I think I'll go for the company and some Q9. We need to get those colonies going. Afterwards, we can focus on the military. Let's get some more taxes, and we do have the divided monarchies general entry. Of course, we'll go for the Bonaparte, it's not even a question. We can even bring the body of Napoleon back to France. Welcome back, Emperor. And we need to form a power block. And question is, do I go for a sovereign empire or a military treaty? The empire will be better early game. I'll be able to protectorate some more people for free. But once we go high infamy, the military treaty is way better, since maneuvers really become a limiting factor. But for now, I think I'll go for the empire. And we might switch later. We can get an alliance with the US right now. Honestly, it might become useful. Our first tour will be in South America. We'll be taking over Peru for extremely cheap. Only 7 infamy for the entire country. And another 12 to protectorate Bolivia. Okay, sure. Let's get a big foothold in South America. And looks like someone else is trying to do the same. Hopefully we can take over everything before those guys. Okay, Bolivia back down. A bit unfortunate, but yeah, I guess we get all of Peru, which is not too bad. Britain attacks China, and that's actually a great opportunity for us. We'll be joining the British. That's because now we can attack Spain. Britain has a defensive pact with Spain, but because we're fighting on the same war, they can join. So we can really do whatever we want in Spain. And I'll be liberating a couple people. We'll have to fight the Russians, but everything is fine. We can definitely handle this. I'll also protectorate Switzerland because looks like nobody will join. I tried to bait Prussia into war by attacking Baden, but looks like they are not falling for it. Maybe we can get them in the war against Mecklenburg? No, not really. Oh, but we got Louis Napoleon Bonaparte. The church wants to plot a coup. Well, let's see how that goes. It's already over. Now, to be fair, I don't really like this current company we have right here. I think I will disband it, and I'll get something else, like a paper company. Spain capitulated. This is what we got, and I think we'll be able to get some of those guys in our power block. Also, we enacted free trade, but I still want to get a war with Prussia. I can't attack them directly because they have a defensive pact with both Austria and Russia, and I'm not really in the position to fight half of Europe, so I guess I'll keep attacking German states. Württemberg backs down. The Prussians just don't wanna fight me. Bro, they are not even willing to protect Bavaria. Let's make the Swiss a puppet. Now it's finally time to reform the Confederation of the Rhine. French power will expand eastwards, and our Swiss puppet next to our protectorates in Germany. And at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm not getting that war against Prussia. So how about we try a war against Austria by attacking Parma? Okay, Austria joined, so that means we can destroy their empire. Okay, and we got the hungry forties. That's not very nice. It's over. The Austrian Empire is over. Now let's keep going into Saxony maybe. Surely Prussia will protect them. Okay, finally they did. Finally we can get a war against Prussia. And you know we can also dismantle them a little bit. Releasing Westphalia and Pomerania should be enough. And I'll be getting my second company. This one right here, which will give us prestige artillery and some nice morale buffs. And we got Napoleon on the throne. Long live the House of Bonaparte. I guess you can also get him a royal marriage with a Bohemian, why not? That will be more influence for me. I can also get Catalonia in the power block and Andalusia. And I'll try to also get Galicia. Prussia capitulated as well, and this is how they look like. They're gonna fall to a major power, or maybe even worse. Austria is already a minor. That's what I like to see. I will also get Hanover as a protectorate. The hungry forties are over, but now are really at the infamy limit. And I think I made a mistake by dismantling Prussia and Austria, because if Prussia also becomes a minor power, which I think they might to be honest, then the Confederation of the Rhine will complete, and I can't be expanding the Confederation anymore. That's pretty unfortunate, but still we got a Confederation to be pretty big. Oh yeah, the Prussians are definitely becoming a minor power. Yeah, the Confederation of the Rhine completed. Very, very sad. Now I'm really wondering if I could attack Russia. Their only allies have been destroyed, and we might be able to bring in the US. So okay, I guess we can try it. I really hope my allies can handle this front in Prussia, because I'll be busy with a naval invasion. Okay, and they're sending everybody over here all of a sudden. Still we can push against them because our infantry is just better. The Russians still have line infantry. Okay, we landed, so we're good. We also switched to elected bureaucrats, and we can even go for public health insurance. Didn't manage to release that many people from Russia, but hey, at least I got Alaska. Now it's time for another big war. A big war against Britain. I attacked the Cape Colony so Britain doesn't bring in all their subjects. Yeah, so I really hope I'll be able to do a naval invasion. I did build up the navy quite a bit. They are trying to land over here, but are gonna be fine, so I can focus on my own naval invasion up here in the Midlands. We did it, we landed over here, but looks like they might actually land over in our country as well. But we are already in London, so we're gonna win. And we'll get public health insurance, why not? There we go. And now the British Isles are free from the English tyranny. Ooh, and the US is taking over Mexico. Right now they are our ally, but later on they might become a threat. We'll have to keep an eye on them. And we can subjugate Catalonia for free through the power block. And we should definitely also attack China before they start modernizing their army. They already got some line infantry. And looks like Austria is trying to get Bohemia back. That's pretty interesting. Hopefully they don't succeed. Influence influencing Hawaii. Okay, I guess we can give you some influence. No idea what this does, but okay. Well, Bohemia is Austrian once again. Okay, now we are in Beijing. There we go. Now this is China. I did take Beijing for myself because I really like the Forbidden City. More legitimacy is always nice. And now we got the Heavenly Kingdom as well. But realistically speaking, the Qing will deal with this. Okay, time for another war against Russia. Same strategy as before. Hopefully the allies can hold this, cause I'll go straight to the capital. And looks like Napoleon consolidated his rule. Mascara Protectorate. You know, Algeria is kind of my sphere of influence, Ottomans. You're very lucky you're allied with Britain. Okay, and surprisingly the Heavenly Kingdom took over China. But it shouldn't make a very big difference, to be honest. Another French win, and the Russians lost even more land. And this part of their territory is now isolated. Also, we got the anti-strikes law, which is a bit better than the combination acts. We got companies 3, so now we can get another company. And I think I'll go for the tooling one. And looks like Chile is trying to conquer most of Bolivia. Portugal is willing to become a subject if I help them in their civil war. Yes, please. There we go, free Portugal. Now I control the entire Iberian Peninsula, except for Spain. But we'll get to them eventually. Oh, and the US got the entirety of the Great Lakes. That's impressive. I'll do another war against China. Maybe we can knock them down to a minor power. Okay, I wanted to attack China, but looks like they backed down. Yeah, that's a bit of border go right here. Still not enough to bring them down to a minor power. Let's subjugate Sardinia, and I think I only have puppets in my power block. Yeah, pretty much. The British are allied with the Ottomans, but it doesn't look like they will join. So let's try to liberate some people. Looks like Constantinople is empty, so that means we'll win this war. They are definitely a lot weaker now. I think I will help the Republican revolt in Spain, and we got total separation. But yeah, this current Spain really hates me, but the new one doesn't. So maybe we can get them into the power block. And I forgot, I can also do the Treaty of Turin, so I can get those states from Sardinia. And let's also survey the Suez. Now we don't have any infamy pretty much, so it's time to go into another war against Britain. And this time I actually want to take some states. First of all, we'll be taking the Homie, because I don't want to be fighting the entire empire. I'll be liberating Cornwall, and we might as well call in the US. I mean, the British are calling Belgium, so yeah, it's only fair. And I'll also be taking some states for myself, like the home counties and Yorkshire, because those are the most developed states in the British Isles. About 35% of the British economy is in those two states alone. I think we can land their capital pretty easily. No idea where the navy is. Oh really, Cornwall doesn't get the entirety of this state? That's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, that was a pretty big hit to the British economy. Hopefully they don't recover again. The French Revolution, wait, what? What is this about? They want universal suffrage and right of assembly. I guess we can compromise on census suffrage. That's fine, I suppose. Yeah, we had a revolt in China, and looks like stuff happened. Yeah, the US will vouch for us. Thankfully, we didn't go over the infamy limit. And now we have this Red Summer event. The struggle between the revolutionaries and the counter-revolution. I guess we'll see who'll win. Now I'll try to ban slavery in the colonies as well. Austria wants me to liberate the Confederation of the Rhine. No. Who do you think you are? Okay, so Russia sides with them. That's why you are so confident. I guess we can also liberate some more countries from Russia. And yeah, we're also fighting Prussia and Sweden at the same time. Because Sweden wants to take over Finland and I want to liberate Norway. And we're not banning slavery. The revolution was vanquished. I guess we'll go back to voting and censorship. Looks like Tuscany wants to unite Italy, but I don't think they will succeed. Okay, we won all of those wars. And this is how Europe is looking like. Yes, pretty nice. Russia got even smaller now. Still, they are pretty strong. Let's subjugate Spain. Now we really have the entire Iberian Peninsula. We also got right of assembly instead of censorship. Just so the radical movement would shut up. Now at this point, I think we might be strong enough to go high infamy. Except for the US, maybe there is nobody else that can stand against us. Okay, so let's attack Britain again. Let's say we want to annex the Trucial states. And from Britain I want to transfer India and take over England maybe. Okay, I guess I can take over everything. And the Rhine Confederation switch sides. That's pretty bad, we have to mobilize more troops. But I think we'll still be fine. We'll be able to easily occupy everything in Britain, and then we'll shift our focus on the continent. Britain capitulated. Now we'll be going into Scotland. Okay, the US sides against me. I don't think I'll try to land in their country. I'll just focus on Europe for now. Okay, Prussia is actually putting their country back together. Don't really like how this looks. Anyway, we'll be focusing on the British Isles. We will be getting an English uprising, but we can surely deal with that. Now, surprisingly, Brazil and Chile of all people joined against us in a war. Okay, I guess we can take some states from you. Like, maybe you shouldn't have all of Bolivia. And looks like I conquered all those states in South America in the name of Peru. But okay, that's fine. We now also control most of the British Isles. Now I think I'll go ahead and just clean up all those little German guys. Okay, and Prussia wants to cut me down to size. How about no? Okay, let's see what we're dealing with. So we'll have to fight Prussia, Russia and Egypt. Okay, it's not too bad. I would also like to take over Zanzibar, so we can finally start colonizing the east coast of Africa. We can start building the Suez Canal. I will also be taking over the entirety of Denmark. And yeah, I guess I'll slowly make my way across Europe. Okay, now Sweden wants to cut me down to size. Britain might join. Could be interesting. And we actually research trench infantry, so we can switch everybody. Looks like we're also going to war with Austria. Actually, I really like this. And now Britain has been completely exiled. They are living in the Falkland Islands. Now let's go for the Netherlands. The Dutch East Indies are mine. I also managed to enable laissez-faire, because I just can't be bothered with building stuff anymore. Now most of Austria is mine, except for South Tyrol, and I'm getting a bit tired of America's interventions. So in this war I'll be taking New York from them. That might teach them a lesson. And maybe it's about time to go into Italy as well. And maybe also in the Balkans. Also we got steel frame buildings, so I guess we can switch to it. Although it will cause a glass shortage. In this war I'll be also taking a bit of Prussia. Probably most of it. Man, I absolutely hate Belgium. They keep joining against me, but they always join against me after I used up all my maneuvers. So I can never actually annex them. But don't worry, I will eventually get to you. And I started building all the monuments right now. Okay, finally I'll actually be annexing Belgium. This should have happened a long time ago. How did I end up in 3 different wars against Mexico? Not too sure, to be honest. I also did take a bit of land in Egypt, because they joined against me in a war, and you just don't do that. Now all of Italy is ours as well. And yeah, most of Germany, but we still have a couple more places to clean up. Now we can establish another company, and I know exactly which one I'll go for. There you have it, this weapons one. Hopefully it becomes profitable, because I really want that extra offense and defense. Oh no, the Emperor is not feeling too good. Let's try this one. Okay, he seems to be alright. Now I'll also start going into Eastern Europe and Scandinavia. And I did take a couple more states from the US, because they keep joining against me in wars. Okay, we're going to war with Russia and the Ottomans. Both of them want to protect Bulgaria. Can't really take too much from them, unfortunately. I took the Russian capital and now they have moved it to Tula. Might be able to isolate it later. Now finally we are at peace once again. And that means we can deal with our many subjects. I'll be transferring states from one subject to another, just so I can reduce everybody's autonomy, and then I'll try to annex them. Okay, so I gave Sardinia all this territory. Now I can annex them, and I really hope we don't have to go to war. And they accepted. Absolutely amazing. Now we only have a couple one province puppets, and I'll be annexing even those. Okay, looks like they aren't really one province, because the Spanish and the Portuguese do have some colonies over here. But I guess we can take the European parts. By attacking Prussia, we can go into another war against the Russians, and I'm a big fan of that. Oh yeah, if we are successful in this war, we might be able to isolate the Russian capital. Okay, our emperor is dead. Now we got this guy in charge, who might be a bit mad. And yes, the Russian capital is now isolated. Absolutely amazing. I will try to do the same for America, but it will take more than one war. Let's also build our skyscraper in Paris. We also commercialize agriculture. Opium wars? Wait, what? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do those. But I guess we can attack the Heavenly Kingdom. They are a bit too strong for my liking. The conquest of Algeria. Yeah, maybe it's time to go do that, huh? You know what they say, better late than never. Okay, we did unlock chemical weapons. So that's it. Right now I think we can pretty much defeat anybody. Not gonna lie, I forgot to add the other half of Mascara as a war goal. So we'll have to do another war in 5 years. But it's fine. 1 billion GDP. That's pretty nice, but there is much more to do. I think I'll also start attacking Oregon, which is basically just Canada. How about another war against the US? Okay, how about another company now? Let's get the Suez Canal Company. Russia is in a civil war, but they can't really get to each other. So in that case, I think the revolt eventually loses. So if I make Russia protectorate now, then we should be able to keep it after the war as well. And now we have also isolated most of the US. I also took a bit more land from Brazil and Argentina. My truce with the Chinese is over, so I'll go into UE. And then we'll also attack the Heavenly Kingdom. Oh, and the Suez Canal now only gives a company charter, not a full company slot. This is very unfortunate. The Indian National Moment? I don't think I'll let them get self-governance. Well, at least we finally completed the conquest of Algeria. That's a pretty big deal, right? Maybe I should start going into Central Asia as well. Man, there is so much more to be done. But I think I do have time. And Japan, yeah, I totally forgot about them. India is having a revolt, so we get non-cooperation in the dominion of India. So I don't think they have any chance of breaking free anymore. Anyway, let's go to war with Turkey as well. Oh, and our Russian protectorate did win the civil war. That's very good to see. Wait, what? The East Indies became independent? Not too sure how that happened. But I know for a fact I'll get them back. Okay, they just broke into a million pieces. Okay, we're at peace again, and it's time to deal with some of our subjects. First of all, Russia, let's give them some states. Reduce their autonomy to a puppet. Very nice. Wallachia is a personal union, because I annexed Moldova and they had Wallachia as a personal union. Should I really try to annex them through this system, or should I just grant them independence and attack them later? I think they'll be independent. I'll come for them in 5 years. Now Portugal should be annexed, and I'll also go for Persia. It's just that there are some countries that I can't annex in one war, so I'm trying to prioritize those. Other than that, there is really no strategy strategy to it. Just attack and kill everybody. It's not complicated, but it is tedious and time consuming. Game is running extremely slow. You would think it would be faster with less countries, but no, not really. Okay, our truce with the US is over and America is an insignificant power, so we can straight up annex them in one war. This will be amazing. Oh, and we got behaviorism, which gives us more maneuvers. Very helpful. Oh yeah, now we own North America. Okay, now we can attack the British once again. But I gotta think about how I'll do this. I think I'll try to attack Haiti. I'll make them transfer Australia. Maybe liberate some more people. I'm not sure. Britain is a very annoying country because they got so many colonies all over the place. I'll have to do like 6-7 wars to annex them. Now we're at peace, so I think I'll give Russia a bunch of states and I'll try to annex them. Looks like they're not just gonna accept being annexed. Let's also finish off Japan. Okay, now there are no other great powers, there are no other major powers, there are only minor and insignificant powers. And yeah, our power block is the only one remaining. Feels pretty good. Let's also reduce the autonomy of India. Also, I built up the Panama Canal. I will also try to annex the entirety of Java. We should start cleaning up Indonesia as well. And maybe also East Asia, because the Americas are almost secured. Now we can do another war against Britain. Let's diminish their power further. Okay, I got some Brandon protectorates because I annexed some people like Kalmykia and Shan. And I think I'm gonna be releasing them whenever I get a moment of peace. Now I'm also trying to annex a couple of my subjects. And now I'll get Nova Scotia, Cuba, and Brazil as well. Now I pretty much directly own both Americas, except for some British islands. But we'll get them as well eventually. Now it's time to focus on Asia. Well, now let's get another company. I think this will be our last one. Oh, we can get Fiat, which will give us even more army offense. And Turin automobiles. Yeah, sure. Another war against Britain. Hopefully this will be the last one. No, of course it won't be. Yeah, at this point I'm not too sure I can conquer everybody. 100 days per diplomatic play is quite a lot of time. And I don't really have much time left. But yeah, I'll try my best. It's such a shame I lost Indonesia, because now I have to waste a lot of time reconquering it. I guess I'll also start moving into Africa. We're already in the 1920s. Only 15 more years. Our place in the sun. This is only the beginning of the French Empire. Yeah, sure. And looks like the civil war in China just doesn't ever end. I'll wait until 1930. And if it's still going on, I'll end it myself. Okay, we got planes. Now it's finally time to annex Great Britain. Poor King George. Okay, China, I'm really tired of you. It's time to go. Now it's 1935 and it's over. The game is pretty much over. And I did not manage to conquer the entire world. So I guess we'll have to restart. No, absolutely not. You have no idea how long a world conquest attempt takes. Anyway, I think I did pretty well still. There were definitely some mistakes. Should have probably went to the military treaty instead of the empire. If I was to try this again, I would definitely do some different stuff. But yeah, I will still call it a world conquest, although I didn't fully annex India or those little countries in the Lake Victoria region. But let's be real, they don't count. They are not real countries. Anyway, our GDP is over 6 billion. Of course, it's the biggest in the entire world. Our population is over 2 billion. So yeah, we're pretty much number one in everything. Especially in radicals. My god, just look how many revolts are brewing. But it won't be a problem. We have a huge military. Yeah, we even research tanks. And so we can easily keep control over everything. This guy, Victor Bonaparte, is the emperor of the entire world. Although he doesn't look too happy about it. Anyway, those are all the laws I managed to pass. The institutions. The trade we are doing. As you can see, we are not really doing any trade. There is really no one to trade with. The population is very diverse. However, the French are still the second largest group at over 120 million. Yeah, that's a whole lot. And finally, those are the French companies. They don't really have any competition. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Victoria 3 A to Z. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.